Okay, I'm going over the Jayco pop-up. It's a model 1206 year 2010 utilities. I'm going to talk about how to use the stove, how to use the refrigerator, how to use the furnace, and how to use the water hookups. So starting with the stove, when you turn it on, from my other video I showed you how to hook it up. After the first time you set it up, there's a bunch of air in the hose. It takes 20 or 30 seconds for all that air to run out of the hose before you can start it. So you start your lighter, turn it to on, turn it to light over here, and just hold it, and eventually it will start. So this started right up because I already took all the air out of the hose, and this is the second time. So that's how you turn that on. It's important to get the air out of the hose also to start the furnace, and I'll explain that to you in a moment. So we go inside. We will talk about the furnace. So this is what will heat it. The whole camper doesn't take long to heat up. 15-20 minutes with this, and the whole camper will be warm. If you're running this off of the battery, you can only run it for short periods, total of 10-15 minutes at a time, and you should only run it 2 or 3 times a day because it will run. It draws a lot from the battery to run the fan that blows out the heat. So to turn this on, what you do is you come down here to the thermostat and you push this on. I use this or something because it's hard with the finger to actually turn it on, but that turns it on. And then down here is the thermostat. So I just turn it on. Right now it's running off of the battery. This warms up in a few seconds. It starts to blow off hot air. To turn it off, just reverse it. You turn this back this way to the right. We'll turn it off and turn the thermostat back to off. And that's it. The fan will run for a minute or two even after it's off until all the heat dissipates from the unit. As far as the refrigerator goes, this is the refrigerator. It's right here, opens up. So the refrigerator takes about a day to cool down. It's just got a very small little engine. It runs off of a low amount of propane, or it runs off a low amount of electricity. So it's not broken. It just takes a day to turn, to cool down. But to keep it shut and run, you'll eventually get there. Okay, we'll go outside. Now this whole unit here, this is all just the refrigerator. So you want to make sure that this knob here is pointed upwards, so you can go down or up. You want it up, and then the gas is coming through the line. Again, if it's the first time being run, it takes a while. So you turn this knob to gas, and then you turn this to max cool, so the white is pointing down. In order to light it, you push down, you hold it for about 10 seconds, and then you hit this red button. Okay, you keep it down. No, I didn't hold it down long enough. You just gotta keep this down for a while. Okay, so if you look in here, so you can maybe see that blue light, just barely make out that blue light inside the hole. So, but now it's running off of the propane. So if you want to run it off of the electrical, you turn this white to AC. So on AC, you have to be plugged in from the street. The wire needs to be plugged into there. Your cable needs to be plugged in order to be running off of AC power. The third option is DC. You turn this to DC and it will drain the battery. But if you turn it to DC for more than a couple hours, it just drains the battery beyond what we can repair the battery. So don't use the battery, don't use DC power. It will basically break the battery. So I turn stuff off here, turn it off. That goes to off, this is off. And then you can turn this knob, turn the gas knob off as well. Now you're all set to run the refrigerator. Give it 24 hours to cool down. So the third utility here is the shower. It's really not much of a shower, it's just a hose, but you have to hook in your cold water from the street, and now that is from the camper. We have a white hose. You just make sure it's a drinking water hose, because this also runs the sink, and then you unscrew this so that the water can also drain out. This will drain out from the sink. So for the shower, it just comes out here. Here's your nozzle, and just clean yourself out, clean yourself off from there. So that's basically it. That's your water connection, your shower. This is your refrigerator, and the furnace you turn on inside. That's it.